views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access for Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Good evening, and welcome to IPFW and to Women Making History. My name is Julie Creek, and I'm the Director of the Office of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs at IPFW. I also coordinate the Center for Women and Returning Adults here. College is hard for everybody. The mission of our office is to support those students who bring special kinds of challenges with them to college. And they include students of color, first-generation college students, members of the LGBT community, and women, many women. With women earning more than 60% of all college degrees in 2012, you may be forgiven for wondering what challenges women actually bring with them to college. Many women who enroll at IPFW are raising children. They're working, sometimes full-time, and sometimes caring for other family members. As I think most of the women here know, the caring duties often fall to the women in the family. They often struggle to find the time, the energy, and the resources to pursue their education amid all of their other responsibilities. Our job is to support them along the way and help them walk out of here with those degrees that they came here to get. So why do we celebrate Women's History Month? There's a story behind that. In 1980, a group of women in Santa Rosa, California made a startling discovery. Just 3% of the content of American history textbooks focused on the lives and accomplishments of American women. They were appalled and more than a little angry. And so they founded the National Women's History Project with the stated goal of putting women back into American history. In the 35 years since the group's founding, they've made real progress. In 1987, the group successfully lobbied Congress and the White House to declare the month of March to be National Women's History Month. The Women's History Project has worked to teach all Americans about the true role of women in our country's history, creating historical archives and resource banks, and spearheading a drive to recognize the historical contributions of women of color and women of different ethnic, religious, class, and regional backgrounds. And every year they remind all Americans to celebrate the lives and histories of American women. That's what we're doing tonight. To celebrate with us, we are thrilled to welcome a talented group of dancers, musicians, martial artists, and journalists, and we're going to make some history. Thank you for coming out tonight, and please enjoy the program. Thank you.
I'm Terry Doran, the Director of TRAC, Three Rivers Art Center for Kids. We're sponsoring the program with the Office of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs. I want to thank Stephanie and her staff that have made this possible. They work hard. This is, I think, our fourth show with them, and we're just so grateful for their sponsorship, their help. And as you just heard, this is Women's History Month. So we came up with a show called Women Making History. By that, since it was my title, I should explain. Mostly, I think that males have pretty much have had our chance of running the world. I think it's time for women to have a lot more influence. And I think one of our guests, Kara Hackett, wrote a wonderful column about that, and there's a copy out on the table, and if you sign our list, I'll email it to you if you haven't read it. She took a few incoherent, jumbled thoughts from me and turned it into a really, really striking and provocative column. And Buckminster Fuller said, is quoted in that column, that you don't change things by changing the existing reality. You have to create a model, a new form. That's where I think women can make such a big difference. So we have a great show, really. First of all, the Fort Wayne Dance Collective, 4 young ladies that take classes at the Dance Collective. I want to thank their teacher, Kate Majorans. This is the 3rd show she's done with TRAC. we won an award for children's programming. And Kate has a good excuse for not being here tonight. She gave birth on Thursday to a girl to join her brother. So congratulations, Kate. And so I'm going to bring you guys up. The song that they've choreographed and worked so hard is called Nourish Our Young. Mimi Burns, who's here, helped write it. Patty Hunter wrote a poem, and Mimi and Grace Minnick turned it into a song. Mostly the words are by Patty Hunter from track. And Grace Minnick, who's not here tonight, but a student at Homestead High School, performed and composed the music. So this is Sadie Corrine, who's performed with us before, Fiona and Ellie. Thank you. TRACK is a program that uses the power of art to combat child abuse. So you certainly saw a powerful example of that right there, the song, the lyrics, the music, and these beautiful young ladies and the dance that they perform. So thank you, all of you. We have two performers coming up, Hope Arthur, well, three, excuse me, Mimi Burns and Styler. And following that, we're going to have a self-defense karate class for women with Steve Basche. So everybody in the audience is welcome to participate, probably males too, but it's primarily focused on women and for women. And following that, a panel called Women Making History with Ellie Bogue and Brooke Welch, Rohma Siddiqui, and Gina Glaros, and Hackett that I mentioned earlier. So please stay, have some snacks, refreshments. Thank you all for coming. And now, proud to introduce Hope Arthur.
Why am I hiding this from you? Why can't I find the words? It is the truest and purest thing. Why can't I explain? Ooh, why can't I bring myself to? It was you that made me feel the comfort of escaping danger. Why can't I explain? Ooh, why am I hiding this from you? Why can't I find the words? It is the purest, most honest thing. Why can't I explain? Ooh. Thank you. That one's called The Truest Thing. It's a newer one. I'm not big for talking in between songs, so I'm just gonna keep playing if that's okay. I saw a flower of menacing red, singing her icons in exchange for bread, taking a bite of the luscious head at beast. She sang, my life is nothing but you. My life is nothing but you. I must be certain that what you say is in line with your cause. Channels will break into what could be a way out, because my life is nothing but you, and it's everything, everything, everything but grim. And if love had something to use, it'd be everything, everything, everything but him. Amidst arrows and lines, singing her icons in exchange for bread, how to recall what is yours or mine, because my life is nothing but you, and it's everything, everything, everything but grim. And if love had something to use, it'd be everything, everything, everything but him. My life is nothing but you. My life is nothing but you. Oh, my life is nothing but you. My life is nothing but you. Thank you. I've got one more. It's called Bonnie and Clyde. I hope you come clean without me. I hope you come clean without me. And we'll run, run, run. Oh, oh, oh. We'll run, run, run. Through this catacomb for you I reach, as a dim light seeks a sweet melody. We'll unravel them for what they're worth, though we're never sure of what will occur. God, I'll see this through. Thy will be done. I hope you come clean without me. I hope you come clean without me. And we'll run, run, run. Oh, oh, oh. We'll run, run, run. We know dastards follow to the end. Oh, while they pretend that they understand, it don't matter now how far we go, as long as you lay low. I will take the blow, and though it tears my heart in two, I've never loved someone like you. They're coming, boy, I think we're through. Our day is done. I hope you come clean without me. I hope you come clean without me. And we'll run, run, run. Oh, oh, oh. We'll run, run, run. I hope you come clean without me. I hope you come clean without me. And we'll run, run, run. Oh, oh, oh. We'll run, run, run.
Thank you. I'm Hope Arthur. Next up, Mimi Burns and Styler.
Hope, thank you. That was beautiful. And now, as Hope said, Mimi Burns and Styler, and Mimi has performed for Track and Styler on several programs, so I'm just delighted and wish Mimi a belated happy birthday from yesterday. Happy birthday.
Usually I put the microphone together with where I'm standing over there, but I'll be here for tonight. I first of all, welcome spring. Yay, spring! Even though and I even put the dress on for it. I was prepared today. I was not prepared for anything other than spring today.
I went without the dress today.
So, Styler and I, we do quite a bit in working with clients, and we work quite a bit with groups in helping to return voice to people. And one of the things that I experienced a lot when we were performing with the band, we had a really large Celtic rock band for a long time. I feel like I could just stand here and talk to you, but I know that they're recording through there, so. So one of the things that I experienced quite a bit were people coming to me after the show or before the show, and I have a natural gift that people want to open up and tell me everything about what's going on with them. And from that, I've been able to use that and write incredible songs. And it helps to bring that energy back to the audiences. But one of the things that I didn't like was walking off the stage or being in the back room and people falling apart. And they're like, my life, oh my gosh. And then I'd be like, can you hold for a minute? Because I have to go perform. And then I'll come back and we'll share some more space together. So we've really rearranged our life now, and a lot of what we're doing is intimate groups. So a few notes that I've taken and that I just want to share with your permission. So that would be a heck yes, if that is a yes, okay. So one of the things that I want to share, the first verse, the first song that we're doing is, which song are we doing, babe? Humble Ground. Okay, thank you. in Humbled Ground, I talk about going from victimhood into victorious. Because anybody that transforms and anybody that has experienced any major life event has an opportunity to regain their voice. And so that's what this song is about. So I think we can probably begin there. So this song is about articulating and owning your emotional state to create healthy boundaries, to go to your core emotions of sad, mad, and scared, and transform them into joy and power and peace through productive processing instead of complaining. So this song is called Humbled Ground.
So you're a victim and you play this game, and you're looking for someone to blame. It's the way you've gained control, but child, you're losing your soul, and you're slowly losing hope. Change the game. You're the reason to walk through this pain. Come out, refresh your faith again. Once you open up that door, your fake world falls through the floor, and you'll raise up and face the world again. Free your soul, hand it all over, let's go. It's a long way down, standing up on humble ground. Take those steps to be restored like rain. Come out and find your voice again. Releasing all that shame, undoing rage, take back the reins. Allow grace into this space, my friend. Free your soul, hand it all over, let's go. It's a long way down, standing up on humble ground, standing up on, you're standing up on humble ground, standing up on, you're standing up on, you're standing up on humble ground, standing up on.
Thank you. Okay, let me just put this back here for a minute. Does this need to be off for me to, okay. So our next song is The Great Divine. So I wrote this, it's about, it was right after my mom had died. And so there was this great shimmering darkness and this great amount of because of all of the abuse issues that we had dealt with in my family. And like I come from let me just get a drink of water here. I come from a mafia family, like the mafia family out of Chicago. And we had huge amounts of sexual abuse in our family. So I was able to transform and take all of the things that I had experienced in my life, and I was able to transform that and start empowering people and bring back hope into people's lives and reminding them why you experience what you experience and how to transform through that. So these are the notes that I have from this. Is this a heck yes still? Okay. Okay, so I'm not asking for much. I'm simply asking for a revolution. It's not a big thing. It's not an external revolution. It's not about blaming governments, societies, or people. It's time to take this revolution to the next level of maturity, into your hearts of the human existence. It points inward towards personal responsibility and creating healthy boundaries when you're feeling sad, angry, and scared. A great restorative power that we can give back to humanity is empathy. People who feel safe enough to be vulnerable can gain empathy, and those who have been in extraordinary amounts of pain know what it means to transcend and move into a place of vulnerability. The opposite of empathy is pity, and TRACK is here to help empower and bring back and restore empathy. Only through our ownership of our victimhood and suffering can we gain the clarity to move into a space of great empathy. So with that, I give you a song about a great death, and it's called The Great Divine.
Must walk through this valley of death alone. I will fear no evil, and I'll speak no evil here. Overwhelming thoughts may assail my trembling heart, and I'll speak no evil, and I'll hear no evil here. Observing my thoughts and witness my plaguing mind, I won't speak, I won't hear. My strength is restored, all power now cast inside, and I'll speak, and I'll hear in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. After the darkness, we bathe in the light. Feed all you want, child, from the great divine. After the darkness, you bathe in the light.
Thank you. The last part, thank you. The last part, this last song is called Enchanted Night. And I've worked with them. Oh, let me turn this one off. No, don't have to turn that off. I'm getting that. Okay, so this last part, how's everybody doing? So I work, thanks. I work with a lot of students, and I can tell when there's a heavy subject because within about 3 minutes, people are like, oh my gosh. You know, so I just want people to take a moment, and this is kind of a heavy event of empowerment, so I just want to give people a moment to stretch. Please stretch your arms and just relax for a second and push that stuff out. No wardrobe malfunctions, please. So one of the things that I was working with some 5th, 6th, and 7th graders the other day, and I'm helping to bring this information to the younger group of people so that they can help to influence their parents and their teachers and their communities. So has anybody, I'm sure, how many people in their daily life experience where you're not able to shut off your brain? Like your brain is just telling you, there we go, it should be just about everybody. So I go into far more detail in class, but there's neurochemicals that get released. And the main part of your brain, this was just research that came out about 3 weeks ago out of San Diego. So the main part of your brain that is in charge of anything that might affect your nervous system and shut you down is in the back part of your brain, and it releases neurochemicals that shut off your ability to think clearly when you're afraid or when you're mad or when you're sad. So we call those lower vibrational energies because they're just, people are like, you can't really function, you just want to fight or you want to freeze up. So one of the techniques that I'm going to teach you tonight, I'll teach you 2. One of them is if you're in a fight with your loved one, or if you want to punch somebody, or if somebody just cut you off in traffic. I'm not saying that's any of you, I'm just saying it's my personal experience of what I've gone through. This is what you can do. So everybody take a nice deep breath in through your nose and hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. And do it again. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath, exhale through your mouth. Now what this does is it enacts the vagus nerve, and that's the nerve that goes from the back here down here right into your organs. And it stops the flood of emotions and allows you, because when the flood of emotions come, it shuts off the active part of your brain from coming up with answers. And the minute that you breathe and enact your vagus nerve, like Vegas, you're going to a party, woo, totally celebrating. So once you enact that vagus nerve, you're able to start processing how to move through a conversation and how to end an argument or a fight or your anger. The next part of this then is if you can't get the internal voice to stop. So my example is our 13-year-old son was at the skate park, and he's at the edge doing, when you're at the edge and you want to drop in? I'm watching the time. I know I have 4 minutes. Okay. So he couldn't drop in. The brain just kept on going and going and going, and he was really, really freaked out about trying to drop in. And so what you do is you take your tongue and you put it on the roof of your mouth, and then you loosen your jaw and drop your jaw. And it stops, the internal chatter. It stops your brain from continuing to go, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. So if you're in a big space of deep fear, put the tongue to the roof of your mouth and then drop your jaw. And you don't have to walk around doing that, but you could do it so that people can't necessarily see what you're doing. You can't be walking around, so that will help. So those 2 things, well, get back to me on it. But if you're in any of your relationship stuff and you want to move to the next level, try those 2 techniques. With that, I bring you Enchanted Night, and it's about moving through those terror zones that you just learned a technique to move through.
Enchanted night, let me speak through you. Help me watch over those whom I love, separating souls from malevolent forces. You offer protection in thy holy name. If I should ever leave your side, love, know you are wrapped in vigilance and care, and that the spirit which dwells within you is profoundly awake and deeply aware. Rise up and face the dark where beside you let us reside in your grace. Against the howling depths of evil, let us reside in your grace. In your grace,
In your grace,
in your grace,
your grace,
in your grace, in your grace,
in your grace,
in your grace,
your grace,
in your grace.
in your grace, your grace, grace.
Ave Maria. Spiritus Sancto. Dominus tecum. Sancte Maria.
Thank you. Styler. And I'm Mimi Burns. Sensei is up next. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Patty and Terry, for having us.
Burns and Styler. Mimi always has such thoughtful, insightful things to share with us from her own life and her own observations. And so I thank you for that. And now we have Steve Basche. Steve also has done several shows with Track. And Steve is I think, different. And I won't say I know every karate person in Fort Wayne, but different in the sense that, and maybe this is true of all people, I don't know, but he wants to make a difference. For example, we've been doing programs on the homeless issue. Steve is offering free classes to homeless individuals. We're going to be doing some classes with the Caris House at the Rescue Mission on martial arts. So with that, Steve Basche, thank you. And I want to bring anybody up. He didn't bring students, partly because I told him not to, and we're going to make you come up. Well, not make you, but we'll ask you to come up. And hey, it's a free class. He's wonderful. Black belt, just so come on up. Males too. This is mostly a self-defense class for women, but males are welcome too. So Steve Basche. Steve, thank you.
Just tell them the males can come up so the women can beat up on them.
Yeah, we need some males so the women can have somebody to practice on. I would gladly come up, but I got to finish an interview here. You know. I'll be right back. Hey, thank you very much.
Okay, tonight, since we only have 20 minutes, we're going to just do some basic strikes. And all I ask is for you to follow my lead. I'll demonstrate visually and, do the commands auditory. So just follow my lead. This is what I'm going to do. And just say, yes, sir. That's not to make me feel good. That's just a formality. So everyone together. So how does that sound? That's good. Sound good? So how are we doing tonight?
Good. Awesome.
Say, awesome, sir.
Awesome, sir.
All right, everybody over here, please. In front of me, let's do 2 lines. One here. 2 lines.
Facing that way?
Facing this way, facing me. Get 2 lines. Okay, spread it out. 2 hands to the front. Very good. 2 hands to the side. Very good. Attention. Okay, how we doing tonight?
Good.
Awesome, sir. All right, we're going to warm up a little bit. Like I said, we're going to keep it real simple, real quick. 20 jumping jacks, begin. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just do your hands if you want. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Hands up high. Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Big circle. We're going to do 1 big circle and slap. This side first. Ready? 1. Breathe loud. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. Hands up high. Keep your hands up. Other side. Big circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You guys and girls look amazing. Give yourself a hand. Yay. 1 look up. Breathe loud. 2 down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look to this side. Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now do not go full power since we don't have time to fully warm up. Go at your own pace, okay? Let's have some fun. Everybody follow me. Cross. Look straight ahead. Tight. Pull. Push. This side. Turn. Follow me like a mirror image. So if I turn my right hand, you turn your left. Pull. There you go. Turn. Pull. Push. With tension. Breathing. 1. Stay together. 2, 3, Now in karate, I tell everyone be respectful, nice, polite. But when we train or a self-defense situation, we put on our tiger face. So let me see your tiger face. Look real mean. There you go. Look straight ahead. Now we're going to do that tiger yell. We're going to yell real loud, okay? Ladies, can we do that? Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we scare that bad guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, loud T.I. Everyone say T.I. after me one time. Just say T.I.
T.I.
Okay, when we punch, you're going to yell loud T.I. and punch hard. Ready? 1.
T.I.
Come on, louder, intimidate. 2.
T.I.
3.
T.I.
4.
T.I.
Okay, wait a second. Relax. Some of you are doing this. You're going T.I. T.I. Okay, let me ask you something. If I'm walking through the park, or if you are a young lady, walking through the park, let's say I'm a young lady, okay? I'm walking. This guy runs up and grabs my hand. Is this scary? Tia. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Second scenario, I'm walking through the park, the guy runs up, he grabs. Tia! Is that scary?
Yeah.
Okay? Even he knows I'm gonna yell. And he still jumped, right? So if you control the mind, you control the body. Make sense? Say that. Say control the mind.
Control the mind.
Control the body.
Control the body.
So yelling does two things. You intimidate, right? You shock the guy. His mind freezes. Plus, you attract attention. Okay, a lot of predators, they don't want that. If you're attracting attention, what are they going to do? Run away, right? So let's yell real loud. Everybody cross, tight, pull, push, turn, pull. Okay, we're going to yell real loud. Ready? Let's scare that bad guy. 1.
T.I.
Come on, yell louder. 2.
T.I.
There you go. 3.
T.I.
4.
T.I.
5.
T.I.
6.
T.I.
7.
T.I.
8.
T.I.
9. 10.
T.I.
Plus, when you train hard, you release those endorphins. You feel amazing, right? When you're working out, everything works out. Say that.
When you're working out, everything works out.
Because you have peace of mind. You feel good. When you feel good, you think good. When you think good, what happens? You attract what?
Good.
Make sense? And you're more confident, okay? Back fist strike, say yes, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to do back fist to the nose. Loud T.I. Ready? 1. T.I. Good. Other side. 2.
T.I.
Faster. 3.
T.I.
4.
T.I.
5.
T.I.
6.
T.I.
7.
T.I.
8.
T.I.
9.
T.I.
10.
T.I.
Good job. Uppercut. Say yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're going to uppercut that bad guy. He gets in close. We're going to hit him right in the chin. Yell loud. Ready? Yell super loud. Intimidate. Come on, scare this guy. You want him to think you're a crazy woman, okay? You want him to think, man, I got my hands full. I'm in trouble, okay? Let me see your crazy woman face. Show everyone in the audience your crazy woman face. Good. Okay, now we're going to yell loud. Get mad. Ready? This guy's trying to hurt you. Hit him hard. Ready? 1.
T.I.
Uppercut. 2.
T.I.
3.
T.I.
4.
T.I.
5.
T.I.
6.
T.I.
7.
T.I.
8.
T.I.
9. 10. You guys better train hard. You're going to need it because I have a surprise for you in a little bit. Hook punch. Say yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, loud T.I. We're going to hit that guy with the hook punch. Ready? 1. T.I. So if he's trying to grab you, strangle you, whatever, push, hook punch right to the side of the head, okay? Yell loud. 2. T.I. Harder. 3.
T.I.
4.
T.I.
5.
T.I.
6.
T.I.
7.
T.I.
8.
T.I.
9.
T.I.
10.
T.I.
How do you feel? Okay. Jump up, say, I feel amazing. Who feels confident?
Me.
Okay, let's do our confident walk. Is this confident walk?
No.
Is that confidence? What about this? Is this good? That's cocky, that's arrogant, right? You want to be in between. Chest out, chin up, walk, look straight ahead, use your peripheral vision, okay? This is called high awareness, accessing your high awareness, being aware of what's around you. If you walk like this, what happens? I'm looking this way, what can happen here? If I'm lost. Exactly, but if I look straight, I can access everything, my peripheral. Make sense? So everyone put your hand straight out, look straight ahead, Now, you're gonna pull your hands back. Okay, pull them back. Look straight. Notice how you can still see your hands. This is peripheral. This is awareness. So I want you to make it a habit. When you walk into a room, out in a parking lot, anywhere, be aware of what's around you. Take in everything. Make sense? Okay. Even in a combat situation. Okay, come over here, sir. Let me hear from Mr. Styler. Screaming at you. Look at my eyes. Block everything you see coming. You see it all. Make sense? If you look down, you're blind. You can't see it. Well, he knew what I was going to do. Good job. Let me hear it for Styler. Okay, so let's walk with confidence. Say, I am confident. Internalize it. Let's walk. Chest out, chin up. Take in everything. Very good. Okay, small smile. Walk this way. Very good. Doesn't he look awesome? Very confident. She helps too. Okay, now how does that feel? How do you feel when you walk on?
Confident.
Exactly. So not only does your mind control your body controls your mind. Make sense? Okay, so remember that. Okay, attention. Okay. Right leg back guard stance, say T-I. T-I. Okay, front punch, say T-I. T-I. Back punch, T-I. T-I. So we're gonna hit this guy so fast. This is what I like to call machine gun punch. We're gonna jab to the face, water the eye, then power punch, knockout power, okay? Real quick. So you're gonna go T-I, T-I. Who wants to see me do it full speed? Anyone? Yeah. Okay, watch, pay attention. See that? That's what happens at mastery level. Okay, you guys ready? Let me see some energy bouncing. Let me hear your Bruce Lee's. Say, whoa! Show this guy you're confident. You're not gonna take it. Very good. Chest out, chin up, show some confidence. 1, 2, loud T-I, front punch, back punch. We're gonna say T-I, T-I. Ready? 1, T-I, T-I. Good, bouncing, bouncing. 2, T-I, T-I. Faster, 3, T-I. Come on, yell louder, intimidate this bad guy. 4, T-I. Yell louder, 5, T-I. 6, T-I. 7, T-I. 8, T-I. 9, T-I. 10, T-I. Okay, switch T-I. Okay, bouncing. Let me hear it. Say, whoa. Okay, 1, 2, other side. Loud T-I. Ready? 1, T-I. Make sure, ladies, you're gonna jab, reverse. Okay, jab, reverse. Okay, same thing this side. Jab, reverse. Okay, loud T-I. Jab, reverse. Ready? 1, T-I. Faster, 2, T-I. 3, T-I. 4, T-I. Man, you're getting into it. I like that. Awesome. What's your name? Carol. Let me hear for Carol. Awesome. She's over here doing this. Doing all the Bruce Lee stances and everything. Hand gestures. Okay, bouncing. Let me see it. Loud T-I. Ready? 1. T-I. Yell louder. 2. T-I. 3. T-I. Come on, guys. Scare me. 4. T-I. 5. T-I. 6. T-I. Okay, switch T-I. See? Yes, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, hands up. Now we're going to do back leg knee strike. How many minutes do we have, sir?
Oh, go ahead. Don't worry.
All right, I'm having fun. Okay, we're staying the whole night. We're going to stay and train for 5 hours, okay? Yes, sir. Okay, back leg knee strike. You can't take a break. Okay, reaching out. We're going to grab that bad guy, pull him in real hard. Okay, we're going to pull him in because he's trying to attack you. He's trying to put you in a bear hug, okay? We're going to bring that knee up right to the...
Oh, okay.
No? There's a better spot. Yes? Groin. Groin. Very effective, okay? Back leg knee strike. How many of you hit somebody in the groin before or kicked someone there? Raise your hand. Does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm proud. Okay, back leg knee strike. Yell loud. Ready? 1. Yeah. Yell louder. 2. Yeah. Come on, louder. 3. Yeah. 4. Yeah. 5. Yeah. 6. Yeah. 7. Yeah. Beautiful. Switch T-I. Okay, same thing other side. Back leg knee strike. Pull in, ready, 1. Remember, where do most of your fights end up or if someone's attacking you? In a clinch or on the ground, right? That means up close, real close, or on the ground. So the focus is high. 9 times out of 10, he's reaching high. He's trying to choke, grab, right? Pull you in. So what you're going to do is very simply bring that knee up, right to the groin. You're going to hit something. It's groin, solar plexus, face. Make sense? Okay, so back leg, you're going to reach and pull in. Same time. Ready? 1. Come on, scare them. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Beautiful. Switch. Tia. Say Tia. Tia. Come on, you got to intimidate this guy. Scare him. One more time. Switch. Say Tia. Tia. You're louder. Switch. Tia. Be careful. Switch. Tia. Switch. Switch. Tia. Good job. Add it to Judd. Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We've had people put us down in the past, right? Sometimes we think about negative things and we're hard on ourselves. What is the best way to think? Instead of saying I can't, say what? Or I'm weak to what? Strong. Okay, right here, young lady. Okay, may I touch your arm a second? Okay, face this way. Okay, arm out. Right here. Say, I'm weak.
I'm weak.
Say, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Okay, just hold it right there. Notice her arm going down? Say, I can't.
I can't.
There's no way.
No way.
I'm weak.
I'm weak.
Now I want you to resist, okay? I want you to push up. I'm gonna push down with my pinky, okay? Wait until I say go. You say, I'm weak.
I'm weak.
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I can't.
I can't.
Now you ready? Resist. I don't want to hurt your arm. Does that hurt?
No.
Okay, good. I don't want to hurt you. But you know that's how easy that was? Okay, relax your arm. Okay, arm out. Okay, plus you're naturally strong anyways. I can see that. Say, I'm strong.
I'm strong.
Say, I'm superwoman.
I'm superwoman.
Say, my arm is made of steel.
My arm is made of steel.
Say, I believe I can.
I believe I can.
I know I can.
I know I can.
Say, I'm the woman.
I'm the woman.
Say, I'm superwoman.
I'm superwoman.
I'm Wonder Woman.
I'm what?
I'm very powerful.
I'm very powerful.
Okay, ready? Resist. High five. Okay, we're going to see how powerful you guys are. We're going to break some boards today. Let me hear it. And you're going first. Come over here. Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. Hey, come over here, young lady. You can't escape. Come on. I'm trying. You can't pull a ninja on me. I'm a ninja already. Okay, who wants to kill this? She's about to have a heart attack. Okay, come over here.
You can.
Okay, face
You are
me.
strong.
Okay, right leg back. Fist tight. Is it okay if I touch your hand? Okay, you're going to twist this out and make this very tight, okay? Think of a hammer. Move over just a little bit here. Okay, you're going to twist this down and strike the hammer part of your hand, okay? Fist tight. Light. There you go. A little bit lighter. Work on technique. Fist tight. 2, 3. Now hit harder. Say T-I. T-I. Good, just like that, okay? Now same thing. Go very slow. Just touch, okay? Right leg back. Say, I am strong.
I am strong.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
Okay, twist 1 slow, very slow. 2 slow. Now yell loud. I want you to see yourself going through. Your fist hitting the floor, okay? Say, I can do it.
I can do it.
Say, I am strong.
I am strong.
Okay, yell loud. Say, Tia!
Tia!
Just like that. Let me hear it for this young lady. Okay, come back over here. Yeah.
Can I take this home?
Sure. That's right. Please. I promise I'll. I'm going to want to. hear for Stephanie. How many of you have something that you think about a lot or that bothers you? It's hard to get over or to get through it. Raise your hand. Anyone? Anything? Yes, ma'am.
I'd rather not say.
Okay, come over here. You don't have to. Okay? We're going to imagine this right here. This dot right here is what you're thinking about, okay? We're going to break through this. Sometimes in life, guys, the only way out is through, right? So we're going to go through this. We're going to break through it. And when you break through it, we're going to release it. We're going to let it go, okay? Ready? Very slow, fist tight, at her palm. Twisting it. Is it okay if I touch your hand? Okay, twisting out, twist down. 1. There you go. Always striking the hammer part of your hand. 2. Keep that fist tight. 3. Slow. Now I want you to imagine this problem right here, you're just going to break it out of your life. You're going to get rid of it. You're going to push it away, okay? Fist tight. Yell loud right there. Say T.I.
Heart first right now?
Yes, ma'am. You got it. What was your name? Allie. What is it? Allie. Allie? Can we write down what you want to break through? Yeah? Just stress? We'll call it stress, okay? This is stress right here. Okay, ready? Fist tight. Okay, keep that fist very tight, okay? Twist 1, slow, 2. Now you're gonna yell loud, fist tight, hit my hand harder, say T-I.
Yeah.
Good, same thing, twice as hard, okay? Yelling loud, say T-I. There you go. 3 more minutes. All right, Ali. A-L-I. Amazing job. There you go. All right, high five. Good job. Let me hear from Allie. See what I'm saying? If you see it, you believe it, you can achieve it, right? You just have to believe it. Anyone else like to try?
I'll be honest, I've already done karate.
Come on. You look nervous. Yeah. You're gonna face this fear.
Yay, Daisy.
Fist tight. Right leg back. Say, I can do it. Say, I'm strong. Okay, bring that hand up. Twist it out. Is it okay if I touch your hand? Yeah. Okay, you want to keep this twisted out, fist tight. Then you're going to twist forward, strike with the hammer part of your hand. Okay, so twist out, then down. Hit my hand. Say, Tia.
Tia.
Harder. Tia.
Tia.
Harder. Tia.
Tia.
Just like that, okay? Same thing. A little harder. Say, I can do it.
I can do it.
Keep that fist tight. 1, slow, just touch. 1, just touch. 2, then hard. Tia. There you go. Repeat. Where your mind goes. Say that.
Where your mind goes,
your body follows.
your body follows.
What was your name? T-A-I. Daisy. I'm sorry. I thought you said Daisy. There you go. Awesome job. Give it for Daisy. Yay, since we're running out of time, the last thing I'd like to say, if you want to break a board after, you're welcome to. I'll let you break a board. But always keep in mind, always put your God first. Envision your goal in your mind. Think positive. Work hard. Anything's possible, right? So you prioritize, picturize, actualize. You do those 3 principles, anything's possible. Remember that. It doesn't matter what people say in the past. You know, it's what you believe. What you believe is what you achieve. Make sense? All right, thank you. Sir? Say yes? Yes. I. Dan. Jump up, say Tia. Tia. Good. Let me hear from the Styler and Gina Glaros fans.
Well, dynamic Steve Basche, thank you. And I've come to the last portion of our program, but certainly not least, our 5 women in media. And before we begin, let me just say we have another program here at Neff Hall, April 18th, called For Destiny. Destiny is a little girl that was abused. Her mother is fighting to make a law in Ohio called Destiny's Law. Senator Dennis Cruz, who's been working with TRAC, is working to make a law like that, introduce a bill for Indiana. So that's April 18th at 1 o'clock. And if you sign the registration out there, I'll send you propaganda on all this information. So, women making history. All of these women made history because they've had to interview me. That's history enough. But I'm going to bring them up now. Gina, Rohma, and their careers have all survived. That's the amazing thing. Ellie Bogue. This is the first time, I've known Ellie a long time. I think it's the first time I've ever seen her without like 3 cameras and a notepad. She's photographer for the New Sentinel and reporter, and also teaches a class at IPFW. Gina Glaros from WANE TV, Ellie Bogue, New Sentinel, Kara Hackett, I mentioned your column earlier. Thank you very, very much. She writes a column called Coffee Break, and I was very proud to be included in it in Thursday's paper. The column was about this show tonight, Women Making History. I talked a little bit about it in the introduction. And Rohma Siddiqui, who was with WFFT TV and has a good reason for not being there. She's getting married and moving to New York. So thank you. And Brooke Welch. Brooke was on Homeless in the City of Churches, and bless her, she came back to be on another show I'm doing. So Brooke, thank you. And Patty Hunter is going to moderate. Patty does her own show on public access called Patty's Page. And she also works with me on TRAC, Three Rivers Arts Center for Kids. You can find us on Facebook. So Patty's going to start off with some questions, but I want to invite all of you to ask questions and participate as well. These are 5 of Fort Wayne's finest, brightest, nicest reporters. Thank you.
Welcome, panel, and thank you for coming. I do appreciate you coming and get quizzed. So this is for every one of you. Who influenced you to become involved with the media? Who would like to answer first? Don't all.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Who influenced you to become interested in the media? How did you get to be where you're at?
Well, the media was something I was interested in from very young. My parents have videos of me saying I wanted to do the news from probably 2nd grade. And then in high school, I did journalism. I went to college for broadcasting, was on our university TV program, and did interviews there. And so it's kind of been something my whole life.
And you? Your name is Gina Glaros.
I'm with you, Brooke. I'm in news, but I would make up stories and do the weather in front of my parents when I was like in middle school, and then I did the announcements. But I never had a family member. They just supported me throughout. My dad was in the TV business, but he sold TV, so it wasn't ever anything in my family. But I just knew I looked up to Oprah. I wanted to be here when I was little.
She's one strong lady, too.
She is.
And how about you, Ella?
Well, it's kind of funny. I actually kind of came into it by default. I was studied to be in veterinary science when I went to university, and after about a year, I realized that perhaps this was not going to work. And I took an ag journalism course, and at that time, I realized I really enjoyed writing, and I transferred into the journalism department at the University of Wisconsin, and I ended up taking photography, and I loved it. And unlike these ladies here, I love it because I'm on the other side of the camera. So that's how I got into it.
Hi, I'm Kara Hackett. Mine was kind of like Ellie's story. I guess I always grew up loving writing, and my mom definitely encouraged me in that. And when I got to college, I got interested in current events, and writing for the newspaper seemed like the easiest way to combine those two interests of writing and commentary on what was going on around the school and just really anywhere. So that's how I got started.
Good evening, my name is Rohma Siddiqui. So I had to kind of face my mother a little bit because she wanted me to go into medicine like everybody else in my family. But my father was very supportive. He always told me that whatever you do, make sure that you put your heart into it and that you're good at it. So in high school, I think I decided that I really wanted to do this. I would take theater and journalism classes pretty much all 4 years, and then I attended IPFW actually and learned a lot. And then I was lucky enough to start my career at WFFT. So my parents were very supportive, but I did have to win them over in the beginning.
So you all have learned journalism, every one of you? Right, journalism? You all went through university or journalism? My mouth, she's not working. I'm sorry. So, which college or university have you gone to? Are you originally from Fort Wayne yourself, Gina?
I'm not. I'm actually from Indianapolis. So I went to IUPUI and I got a degree from Indiana University with a communications degree and then a journalism certificate. And then internship was really big, was key. So one of my classes was actually at WISH TV in Indianapolis, and then I interned at WTHR, which was really, really helpful, and started, just to get that experience. So yeah, and then my first job was in Terre Haute, Indiana for a couple of years at WTHI, and then transferred to WANE TV, which is our sister station, so.
How long have you been with WANE TV?
2 years, last week.
Oh, congratulations. And you, Brooke, what about yourself? Where'd you go? Where are you from originally?
Okay, I am from Berne, Indiana originally, so just 45 minutes south of Fort Wayne. And then after high school, I went to Huntington University, which is over in Huntington, so a lot of you, I'm sure, have heard of that. And then after college, I did an internship. Linda Jackson, who's now on 21, was kind of my mentor, and she let me report on air as an intern, make that resume tape, and I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee for my first reporter job. And then after taking a couple years off, I wanted to move back to Indiana, where I was from, and I got this job at Fox about 1 year and 5 months ago.
Is that all? Just 1 year and 5 months? Yes. My goodness, I've seen you on every day, every weekend, I mean, and you're really good. You know what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
I see everyone has been established here. You're making history, working for a man's newspaper and or TV. They first started out with men, didn't they? Now the women are taking over. That's right. You betcha. So you have, Brooke, a lot of women on your team. News, weather, and sports. Not too many men. What is that? How does that differ than the old days?
You know, I guess the news director is usually in charge of hiring, and they, when we have a job open, are kind of looking for a certain member of the team or a certain skill set to fill that position. And I would say, you know, it's equal opportunity. If it's a female that fits for that position, they'll hire a woman. If it's a man that they're looking for, they'll hire a man. So it's equal opportunity when they've got something open.
So, for the news desk, what can you bring that a man can't? As a reporter, or
What can I do that a man can't?
what can you do that a man can't when you're reporting?
I don't think a man can be as charming as a woman can. When we go out on interviews, I think people love to see us a lot more. Do you guys agree? I think Terry agrees. I think women are just, you know, naturally very warm and, you know, just more friendly. You kind of just, when you see a woman reporter, people just sit down with you and they share their life story with you so openly and nicely. So I think women really just, you know, put their soul into their work. I'm not saying that men don't, but, you know, they just have a different dynamic of working. So women just really are all or nothing creatures.
What I like to know is, over the years, when women first came involved with the media, has the conditions improved? Were there prejudices in the beginning when women first started coming on the TV and or radio or whatever?
Sure. I would say certainly. That was before my time, but you know, you hear stories about how a woman was not allowed to anchor. It was always a two-men anchor team, and that's very much changed. Oh goodness, I don't know. I would say maybe 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. But now I'm with Brooke. It's you know, very much equal, and how the anchor team really, their chemistry and how they relate to each other. It's not so much about male or female.
So you're no longer in the minority, you're equal, which is good. Which is good. Is that right? Equal. Okay.
Next.
Okay. Kara?
Yes.
You are a columnist. Do you find the newspaper a lot different than it was from the past?
Sorry.
Do you find it different than it was from the past? Like,
my past has been pretty short. I just started working at the Journal-Gazette about a year and a half ago now. So my personal experience with that hasn't changed too much, but I'm sure that, I think in what you hear about newspapers back in like the 1950s it was definitely like a male-dominated newsroom, but now you see that it's totally changed. A majority, I would say, of our reporters at the Journal-Gazette are women. There are women who head up departments, and the men really treat them very equally, I would say. And so I wouldn't say that it's changed in the time that I've been there, but in the past 50 years, especially in newspapers, it was like
I must
really
have been
male-dominated.
13 when it was 50 years ago. Anyways, do you find newspapers starting to go out of print, so to speak? And then where is it going to now?
Yeah, I actually get this question all the time. People are always asking me if I'm afraid about job stability. But the thing is, it's like newspapers aren't really going out of business. They're just changing the way that they do things. And I think that could cause some of them to go out of business, but it's really just adapting to a new model. I mean, if you look at anything like the Huffington Post, any online-based news organization, you know that it's really, the demand for it's higher than it's ever been. Americans are reading more than they've ever read. They're just reading it in a different way. So even if someone isn't picking up the newspaper every day in the print, there's a lot of people who are accessing it online, and the demand for, especially local news, is really going up. online. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity, and it just kind of depends on the news industry to take the initiative to switch over to the newer models versus trying to make the older models fit into the new era.
How about classrooms, pencils, pens, printing, and all that? And that seems to be going out of style, or is it my imagination? Do you find that?
I actually take all of my notes by hand still. Did you want me to answer that? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. And if people always say it's disarming, I think it's a little bit, even though we have access to technology with recorders and things like that, people I interview are always like, oh, I'm so glad to see you like not just shoving a recorder in my face, that you're actually just taking notes, and it kind of humanizes you, I think, in a certain way, and I don't think that the industry will lose that unless they find something that like automatically translates someone's spoken words into type right away, because that would be awesome.
My dad used to be a typesetter with the keys, putting them in racks, making newspapers and our books. So I can see the difference. I used to be a typesetter myself, working for 15 years. Now I'm kind of obsolete, so to speak. It's been about 20 years. So everything's changing quickly. And so, Ellie? You there? Okay. Do you know what the difference or similarities of being a reporter for a newspaper would be when compared to a TV reporter? Do you know the difference between?
Well, for one thing, when I go out to write a story, I'm not thinking in sound bites necessarily. I'm thinking about how I'm going to compose the story, and I'm thinking in inches. And so in some ways, I have a bigger luxury, I think, than TV does, in that I have more space to tell my story, and I feel like I have the opportunity to tell it in a lot more depth. And that said, I should say one of the ways that things are changing right now for the newsprint side of things is we wear many hats. When I go out and cover a story now, I'll be writing a story, but I may also be shooting video for our website, and I may be shooting still photography at the same time for the newsprint side. So it's a lot of work, but in the end, it can be very worthwhile.
So in the old days, you used to have camera people, then reporters, and then this and that, following the stories that's been out there. Do you do your own reporting, you two?
Yeah, I usually 99% of the time do all my own camera work and writing and editing. The stories really are own from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, that's what most of the business is. I mean, even in bigger markets, you are your own camera person. You go out there, do your interviews. You know, opposite of Ellie, your story is really depends on the interviews that you get, because we are such a visual medium. People will say, can you write that down? I'm like, I mean, I could, but, you know, in a newspaper, it would work, but on TV, there's no way of me getting that message across. But yeah, I am my own photographer unless we have a live shot. For the most part, reporters can't do their own live shot, so in that case, it is a treat. And it's like I'm on a little mini vacation because I get a photographer, and it does. A photographer does help make your story a lot better, especially depending on what the story is. So it's really nice to have a photographer, and when you get it, you're super appreciative.
So you're doing a lot. You have many hats, you people, instead of just being anchor people. Woman. Sorry. I just want to know, has anyone in the audience would like to ask a question or two for the ladies up here? There's, I know you do. No, there's a, Oh, Stephanie, go grab the mic. Okay, oh, thank you. To visit Mama.
Well, one way it's changed, Ellie, for example, when you started, you were a photographer. When I first met Ellie, I was doing a documentary on a big turtle in Churubusco, and she took my picture on a lake, little lake in Churubusco. But now you're a reporter as well. Was that hard, that transition?
Well, let's just say it wasn't one that I had planned on. But we downsized so much of the News Sentinel, and fortunately I had gone back about 4 years before that to work on my master's at Ball State. And so by the time they actually stuck me into that position, I felt like I was able to handle that. Do I prefer one over the other? Yes, I will always prefer documentary photography, probably over being a reporter, always. And I love shooting sports. So, you know, and that's not something that, it's very, let me put it this way, it's really hard to get a good documentary photograph and write a story at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the thought process in documentary photography is you are literally becoming that fly on the wall, and you are watching the situation, you're waiting for that optimal moment to take the picture. And when you're really hanging back, when you're a writer, you've got to be out there, you've got to be asking the questions, especially if you're in a situation with other media, you've got to get your voice in there. So they're two totally opposed practices. So to put them together can be very challenging.
Well, you do a good job, but I mean, if you're taking notes and interviewing somebody and then there's the picture, you can't really take the picture while you're taking your notes, so very difficult. Gina, you've interviewed me twice on the morning weekend show, and then I saw you in the field, so to speak. What's the difference between those two roles? Brooke, I think you do as well. You anchor and you interview people on the set, but then what's more difficult or challenging about
I enjoy both of them. I think reporting, it depends on the story because, and you know, just like any other job, some days are going to be better than others. There's some stories that I have my heart and soul in, and there's other days where I'm like, you know, it's maybe not as interesting. It's your job to make it more interesting. So sometimes I think reporting can be more stressful actually because you, no matter what happens, you have to have a story that day. And it's a matter of getting that story on the air at 5 and 6 o'clock. If your interviews don't come through, you still have to have a story some way. Anchoring, it's a little bit more lax, not lax, I shouldn't say, but you're not out in the field. It's a little bit more fun because, you know, you're going over your scripts, you're staying in the studio. It's not, I guess, as stressful.
And it's scripted.
Anchoring?
Yeah, I mean, when I was on, you got to read off of a monitor, right? When you're out interviewing somebody.
Yeah. The teleprompter is a very good friend of mine. Yeah. And I anchor the weekend morning show, so that's, in my opinion, the most fun because I get to have interviews on. It's just more laid back than a regular other newscast. I get to have, you know, just talk about different things that are going on in the community and meet new people with interviews that are coming on, like you, Terry. So it's fun. You get to cover a lot in an hour.
Anybody else?
I'm curious how much freedom you guys have in telling the stories that you want to tell, or like what's the process in deciding what stories are told, whether in print or on air?
So basically, we have to okay everything with our news director and our producer. So we can't really just say, oh, you know, I want to do the story today. So technically, your producer is your go-to person. You have to keep them in the loop that, hey, I'm going to interview this person now. This is what happened. So they kind of know what your story is turning into throughout the day. So everything has to be okayed by your superiors, pretty much. So we do have freedom in the sense of creativity, of how we shoot the video, of how we craft the story, and how we write the wording. But all of the decision making has to be done by the producer and or the news directors.
For me at the newspaper, it works a little bit differently. Since I do a column versus like a regular news reporter, I get to choose what I write about and when, and so they've really given me a lot of freedom with that, which is something I enjoy. So I kind of pitch story ideas to my manager, and since it's more of like a 20s and 30s type of column, they take my advice for it a lot of times, which is great. So just kind of picking up on trends within the city, seeing what's happening downtown, what's happening with the young adults, what's happening with anything that impacts young adults, and just going from there and then hoping that they like it. So a little different process.
And in the TV world, you can have your story set, and then there's breaking news, and that story gets scrapped for the day, and you're at the shooting or whatever's going on.
How about censorship? Kind of curious about that, especially with language and all that.
Actually, we have very little censorship of the newspaper other than bad words. But I can think of only one time when I had a story that was not published, and that was probably almost 20 years ago. And it had to do with the drag scene here in Fort Wayne and a drag club. And in particular, I was following one of the guys / performers, and the newspaper decided that, seeing as we are the more conservative newspaper, that perhaps it was not something for a family audience. So we did not run the story, which was too bad, but you know, that happens.
Anybody else want to comment to that? Especially with Anchor, you just read what's in front of you, right?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, obviously no bad words. And if you don't have both sides of the story, we would scrap it. Especially something that's more high profile, you know, accusing somebody of something, it always has to be both sides. And we'll wait several days to get that other side. And sometimes if it comes to the point where it's just, you know, they don't want to answer, are ignoring us, and we'll, you know, depending on the story, if it's, you know, not accusing, but if it's yeah, yeah, but then we'll run in, we'll say, hey, so and so did not get back to us, but and ultimately it does come to the news director's decision whether or not we run something.
How about you, Brooke?
You know, it's basically the same thing as Gina was saying. Obviously, no bad words on air. Keep everything family friendly. But obviously, there are stories where they've had to sit down and decide, like the ISIS beheadings in the international news, what they're going to show, what they're not going to show. A lot of times, that's the news director's decision on what's going to go through. Or if something does go through from some of those war-torn countries, usually there's a disclaimer at the beginning. If you're anchoring, you'll say something like, if there are young children in the room, this is parental discretion. This footage from Yemen or wherever it's at isn't going to be, it's going to be graphic. So usually you have some kind of disclaimer like that as well.
Anyone else like to ask a question in the audience? Therefore,
hello, ladies. Did you ever have a monumental story that changed your careers, like molded who you ladies are today? Like a break, like a news break, or some kind of exciting stories that you didn't think you'd be able to cover before?
That's a good question. When I was in college, actually, I felt like one of the first really big stories that got my attention was this study that I saw in The Atlantic magazine, and it was about different sides of our brain and what they're used for. And so the interesting thing was I went to a faith-based college, and so it was talking about how one side of your brain is based on intuition and the other side is based on reflection, and kind of how that plays into what we believe in the faith. And so there's these guys from Harvard, or I think it was Harvard, no, Harvard and MIT, they put together a study, and they had like all these people do it in America, and it was kind of like a 3-question SAT type study that was supposed to tell you whether you were more intuition-based or reflection-based, and then it kind of assessed your faith based on that category. And what we did was like, I called the guy who created the study, and we got permission to run it on campus. And so it was really cool because it was like we got our school to participate in this national piece of research, and it kind of opened a lot of doors because it was like, okay, all you have to do is really just like ask someone. And the worst thing they can say is like, no, you can't do that, you know, or like, don't ask me that. So I think that that was a big career shaping one in the way that it was just like kind of stretching beyond the limits of what I thought was possible as a reporter.
Is there any last thoughts from each one of you to encourage the younger generation of women to go for it, you know, to say, I can do it. No one's going to stop me as long as it's legal. No, but I just want to know, each one of you, would you like to do some chat with the people for the camera who are listening, watching us?
Yeah, I know we're always told to follow our dreams, and it's so true. I mean, anything that you want to do, you can most definitely achieve. I think a lot of us too want to, you know, want all of those things to come, you know, in a split second, and it doesn't happen like that. It's very much baby steps. You know, it's about the journey, and you'll get there. It's just how bad do you want it? And, you know, and you're right. The worst thing anybody could ever tell you is, no, not right now, you know. So you just have to go for it and ultimately follow what you want in life.
Brooke?
Well, you know, there's that quote, like, you'll miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So I think in anything, if you always just go for whatever it is you love to do, whatever area of your life that is, career-wise or whatever, life's too short to be in something you don't enjoy. So I think as long as you're always finding that path or putting yourself on a path to do something that you love, you're going to be successful and happy in what you do.
Thank you. And Ellie?
I would say, from a woman's perspective in the news business, you know, having done this for a long time, I've seen a lot of changes. And when I started, I was a minority, and now that's no longer the case, which is a great thing. So if you hang in there and you really want it and you keep trying, you can achieve it. But always be direct, and if you feel like you're not being treated fairly, speak up.
Definitely speak up. Kara?
I would say just something kind of related to the whole making history idea, and the fact that there's a lot of room in the news industry right now for you to kind of carve your own path in this. And that's one of the reasons that I chose it and chose the Journal Gazette, was just because there's not really a set path for what a newspaper is going to look like in the future. There's not really a set path for what a social media job looks like at any kind of news organization. And so I guess the inspiring thing is it kind of can be what you make it, and you can make mistakes and try again.
And Rohma?
So the hardest thing that I always thought was reporters always, you know, wherever they get jobs, they have to move away. Whatever state it is, and then you do sign 2 to 3 year contracts. So the toughest thing for me, because I'm very family oriented, was, you know, thinking about that. I really don't want to move away. So I was lucky enough to get a job in Fort Wayne. But now that I'm getting married, actually 2 weeks ago I was offered my dream job from WGN Chicago, and I had to turn it down because I'm getting married and I have to live in New York City. So I was upset for like a day, but I got over it because, you know, as a woman, you're always going to be facing struggles. You're going to have kids. You're going to have a family. Women have a lot of responsibilities, so you always have to be true to yourself and always do what makes you happy, because things change constantly. And if, you know, you just have to have a bright outlook on the future, because things just fall into place when they're supposed to, and you can never, ever be hard on yourself. Patty, anything else?
Oh, me. I'm a TV host and TV producer of Patty's Page, and I became a producer 5 years ago, had my own show, and I was told that I could do it. And I said, as long as you know what you're doing, doing it legal, really going full blast in what you want to do, go for it. I'd like to thank everybody here on the panel for coming. I'd like to thank the audience for participating as well. Thank you, and God bless and good night.
Thank you again. The panel was fantastic. I told Patty to ask you if interviewing me was a career highlight or a career changer, that you decided you made the wrong choice. Anyway, we'll leave that for you to ponder. But thank you. You guys are all great, and you've all been so nice to me when you have interviewed me. And was this more fun than actually asking the questions, or at least as much fun?
It's harder than it looks. I'm way better asking the questions than answering the questions, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with Gina. I'm a better asker.
Yes, it's harder.
I kind of like answering.
All right.
I think it's easier to ask the questions because you don't really have to think as hard, you know, just keep them coming. So, and we kind of train ourselves to be very inquisitive at all times. So.
Well, you all were terrific, really. I mean, you're terrific on the air, and you're terrific here tonight. So thank you. Say for Kara in print and Ellie, but Ellie does some video. Do you shoot any video like Ellie does for the web page at all?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah,
Okay.
I do video and photo for when it's necessary.
Well, that's certainly a change. I mean,
Yeah.
reporters never, I mean, you know, the newspaper was
Yeah.
print. Now that's expanding into printing and video, and you guys have to have writing skills. When I was joking about the monitor, but you had to write that script, and you have to put a story together. I'm amazed that you can go out and in a few, go back and have about a half hour to make sense out of something. That's very difficult, it seems to me. Well, I think we're supposed to be out by 9 o'clock, so I'm going to thank everybody for coming. Again, do sign the registration out there, because I want to thank IPFW College Access for videotaping, and we'll send you the link and send all of you the link, and you can watch it again, and thank you. Last word.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone here at IPFW, on behalf of the Office of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs, we'd like to thank everybody who performed tonight. You did an amazing job, and it was quite informative. And the other programs were great too. So thank you all for coming, and stay tuned for other programs. We do different kinds of cultural programming and that sort, and all through the academic year. So keep your eyes on IPFW's media feed and Twitter feed and all that, because there are things happening on this campus all the time, and we'd love to have you come share them. Thank you very much. Good night.